What if I told you you were living your life in a trap that you created and continue to stay confined in day after day? You are only confined by the world around you that you believe to be true. This is real and it's true. And once you understand what I'm about to share with you, your entire life will change. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Mary Kate, and I'm a mindset coach, manifesting expert, and founder of mkmagicmindset.com. If you're new here, my channel is all about law of attraction, manifesting, meditations, and more, so be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you. Here's what you need to understand. There can be so much confusion about limitations and blocks because when you're living your life, when you're in it can be so hard to see the bigger picture and take a step back and see it from an outside perspective. It's so hard to get that perspective when you're in it. Things you might not even realize could be keeping you stuck, living the same day, same week, same year, over and over and over again on repeat like a vicious cycle. And the reason that most people can't escape this vicious cycle is because they don't change this one thing. Yes, there is one thing you can do right now to break this cycle and change your life forever. I have so much to share with you in this video, but before we dive in, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I take the confusion out of manifesting and give you the tools you need to get the results you want. So now that you've done that, let's get into it. There's this famous experiment where a scientist put a bunch of fleas inside of a glass jar and they started to jump out. He then took those same fleas, put them back in the jar, and put a glass lid at the top of the jar. So the fleas continued to jump like normal, but now they were hitting the glass ceiling and falling back down to the bottom of the jar. This happened over and over again to the point where the fleas became so acclimated to hitting this glass ceiling. They became conditioned to only jump to a certain height so that they didn't keep hitting that ceiling. After a while, the scientist removed that glass lid so that the fleas were free to jump and escape like they did before. But because they had been so deeply conditioned to believe that there was a glass lid still there, they still only continued to jump to a certain height, even though freedom was waiting right there for them. They had full ability to escape and jump out like they did at the beginning of the experiment. But because they had been placed with that glass lid for a certain amount of time, they were conditioned to believe that they couldn't get out. Freedom was waiting right there for them, but their conditioning stopped them from having it. What if I told you that we as human beings operate in that same way? Yes, we may not be a flea, but we can be conditioned to believe in limits that don't exist. And the thing you need to understand is that your limits define your future. You determine what's possible based on your conditioning and your subconscious programming. Every failure, every setback, every time somebody said no, every rejection, every disappointment all formed your lid to your glass jar. Whether you realize it or not, you were conditioned each time you didn't get that amount of money you wanted, each time you didn't get that job you wanted, each time you didn't get something you wanted, or you were told no, or you were told you weren't good enough, or that you were this kind of person. Every no, every negative experience all formed your limits. And you operate from your limits, whether you realize it or not. Every single person has a glass ceiling that they come up against. But it's what you do when you're facing that glass ceiling that determines your future and determines what your life is going to be like. Are you going to allow these limits and this conditioning to only let you jump so high? Or are you going to take yourself out of this trap that you've only created based on your limits? It really is simple when you look at it from the bigger picture. Your glass ceiling is only created by your conditioning and your beliefs. And these beliefs are things that you think are true based on past failures and experiences. But you have the power to examine these beliefs and decide what's actually real and true for you. You can decide that one setback isn't going to determine your whole life or your future. And you can decide that you are more powerful than the fear of failure. Because the whole purpose of failure and setbacks is to just show you a lesson. It's teaching you who you need to become to have the things that you want. It's not like there's some kind of mystical force that has puppet strings on you and is making bad things happen to you. That's living life from victim circumstances rather than being in co-creative control over your life. You may not have control over failures or setbacks, but you have control over learning the lessons and taking it to the next level. You can let failure and setbacks break you, or you can let them make you who you need to become to have the things that you want. You can decide to break through any limitations because limits don't exist. When you operate from this place, everything will change for you. Limits only exist if you believe they exist. So what you believe determines your reality. Do you think that the most rich and powerful and successful people believed in limits? Do you think they believed they can only earn money from a certain job or having to work from 9 to 5 or having to go to college to get this job? Do you think that they never failed and were never told no? They experienced the same failures and setbacks as everybody else, but they decided not to be boxed in by it. They decided not to create limits based off of their experiences. They decided not to buy into or believe that limits exist. They focused on potential and possibility instead. So I want you to try something right now. Choose one thing right now that you intend to manifest and write down what you think is stopping you. List all the reasons why you can't have it, any thoughts or beliefs or logical reasoning why you think you can't have that thing right now. Just pick one thing you want to manifest and write down all the reasons why you think it can't happen right now. It's a very simple but powerful diagnostic exercise to see where your beliefs are at, see where your limits are, and see how you can break through them and free yourself from the trap that you've created for yourself. And write it all down. When you think you've got it all on paper, dig a little deeper because there are so many deep layers to our beliefs and our subconscious programming. It's like an onion. You might get the top layer, but then there's more and there's more. Just keep peeling and digging deeper and seeing the true reasons why you believe that you can't have this thing. All of the thoughts and beliefs and other people's opinions that reinforce why you can't have that thing. Get it all out on paper. And here's the key. Once you get it all down on paper, all the thoughts, feelings, opinions, everything, once you get all of those deep layers out on paper, all the reasons why you think you can't have something, I want you to notice if these are actual real limits. And when I say real limits, I mean limits defined by the laws of gravity or science or physics, or if they're limits based on your experiences and your conditioning. 9 times out of 10, these limits are really only based on your experiences and your setbacks and your conditioning. And now that you understand that these are the limits that you placed on yourself and you can change them at any time, you have the power to escape the trap that you've created. Just like those fleas that were in the jar, once the glass ceiling was removed, you can jump out, you can change your life. But the thing is, only you have the power to do it. Nobody else can do this for you. So it's a decision you have to make yourself. And you have to do the work to get there. You have to free yourself. And normally when you're manifesting, everybody always tells you to just write down the good stuff. Only focus on the good and the positive stuff and the things you want to happen. And while that's a good focus, and I do agree you should focus on what you do want, not what you don't want, it's really important to do this work and actually get clear on what your beliefs are. Because you could write down that you want to be a millionaire. And you can write that a million times and focus on it. But if you have resistance around it and you don't actually believe it's possible for you, how are you going to manifest that into your life? Because you are in a box with limits. And until you remove these limits, how can you let anything in? The law of attraction and manifesting isn't some kind of magical, mystical, fairy dreamland. This is the real way manifesting works. You have to get clear on what you believe. You have to get clear on your resistance so that you're not just constantly asking for things and hoping and wishing and praying and thinking they might come true. There's a lot of answers in your resistance. There's a lot of answers in what you believe to be true. And that is the most common manifesting trap, and it will keep you stuck. If you're working from the outside in instead of the inside out, face your fear and your limits head on so that you can heal it and clear the path to receive what you desire. And here's one of the biggest takeaways from this video that I want you to understand. Limits don't exist unless you believe they do. So play around with that idea and see how much your life starts to shift and change. And the second you can condition yourself to reach further, dream bigger, open yourself up to receive without fear, and trust the desires that were placed in your heart, your entire life will change. You hold the key to unlock your freedom, and you have more power than you think. If you want to dive deeper into subconscious programming and learn techniques that work for you based on your learning type, be sure to check out my signature Abundance Academy program. Inside of Abundance Academy, you'll learn the 3 pillars of manifesting. I share my exact 7-step manifesting formula and show you how to customize it for yourself. You'll learn how to program your reticular activating system and set new parameters around what you're available for, and so much more. I'll leave a link up here and a link down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you found some really powerful and transformative information inside. And if you did, be sure to share it with any friends or family who might find value in it as well. And if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And also be sure to check out my Instagram at mkmagicmindset. There I post tons of law of attraction tips, daily affirmations, and more. And be sure to check out my website, mkmagicmindset.com. There you can find all of my digital courses, coaching, meditations, and so much more. And I will see you in the next one.